Number 3 on our list, the port of call is Lisbon, Portugal. Our cruise ship is docked here and we have only 4 hours to visit as many places as we can here in Lisbon. What tourist sites can you cover in just 4 hours? Here are a few places we visited. Lisbon is a big city with a lot of history and sights to see. But before we continue, please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and please comment below. Tell me what places you have visited in Lisbon. This tour was booked through Vacations to Go, who arranged our cruise. So we took a taxi to take us to the Marquês de Pombal Square where the tour began. This wide street is called Avenida de Liberdade, and at the end of the street is a large roundabout with a big monument of the Marquês. This avenue is so wide, and it is the most expensive street to rent or buy property here in Portugal. The avenue is home of international luxury brand stores such as Louis Vuitton, Prada, Christian Dior, Chanel, Versace, Balmain, Gucci, Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, and many others. The monument that is at the end of the street is the Marquis of Pombal, the Prime Minister responsible for the rebuilding of Lisbon following the great earthquake in November 1st, 1755. It shows him standing on a column with his hand on a lion, which is a symbol of power, and his eyes directed to the downtown area that he rebuilt. We boarded a bus that took us through the area that was once devastated by the earthquake. Our first stop is Lisbon's oldest area called the Alfama. The narrow and steep streets and the many alleys and side streets can get you lost easily. It is a maze of medieval streets. There are many breathtaking views you can see. There's unique shops and home to fado, the traditional Portuguese music. Notice the blue tile decoration on the wall. It is called azulejos. It was introduced to Portugal by Spain, and you will find many of these in the buildings in this area. This area dates back to 1150 and it is full of historic buildings, and this street leads up to St. George's Castle. This area was where the sailors and dock workers had once lived. Right here is the public laundromat. A little side note here about booking a tour in a foreign country. Our tour guide spoke English and Portuguese. I was informed that both languages would be spoken by the tour guide, but since there were only 3 Americans and more Portuguese, she was inclined to speak that language more. So I was not able to get all the information about the buildings at this point.
Porque os visigodos eram cristianos e depois quando han venido os árabes.
Of course, there are a lot of souvenir stores that are open. This old brown stone building here was the parish. Now look at this passageway where people are going. Since there are 2 street signs, there must be 2 streets. The one where everybody is going must be a street. And it looks like only one person can pass through at a time. And this passageway takes us out of this neighborhood and out onto the main street. Now we're going to board our bus and go to a different destination. Our next stop was the Lisbon's harbor facing the Tagus River. The Bellum Tower sticks out at the edge of the water like a sore thumb. It was built in 1515 as a fortress to guard the entrance to the harbor. This was the starting point for many of the voyages of discovery, and for the sailors, it was the last site of their homeland. It is listed as UNESCO World Heritage Monument, and nearby is a park where a lot of sports activities take place and many joggers run. This is the Discoveries Monument that was built in 1960 to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the death of Prince Henry the Navigator. It represents three different ships that sailed from this harbor. It has sculptures of important historical figures such as King Manuel I, the explorers Vasco da Gama, Magellan, Cabral, and several other notable Portuguese explorers, crusaders, monks, cartographers, and cosmographers, with Prince Henry the Navigator at the prow holding a small vessel. Nearby is the Navy Museum about the history of navigation in Portugal. During the 15th and 16th centuries, Portuguese explorers were at the forefront of European overseas exploration. They were successful in exploring and navigating the open sea because of the compass, the astrolabe, and the caravel. Under Prince Henry the Navigator, the Portuguese explored the coast of Africa and later established trading posts up and down the coast of West Africa. Our last stop was the Palace of Ayuda. It was constructed to house the royal family after the 1755 earthquake and tsunami. This place is home to many beautiful tapestries, furniture, sculptures, and paintings. We went to every single room in this palace. No one was allowed to take any pictures, so I had to put my camera away. She was very strict and demanding that I put it away, but I was able to capture these pictures, which I am sharing with you. Well, we covered a lot of ground in 4 hours. It's a definite yes to visit again. I hope this video helped you get a glimpse of what it's like to be in Lisbon. Until our next travel, so long for now.